Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome if you're new. I hope you're all doing well and welcome back to my November TBR. I cannot believe we are doing November's TBR. It seems absolutely crazy that we're only 2 months away from finishing off the year. Mind boggles sometimes about time, but let's not get too deep into this because today we're here with some fun TBR shenanigans because I have decided to scrap my TBR game. If you've been following me for a while, you will know that I tended to kind of do pin the tail on the donkey, but I just never felt like I wanted to film that video anymore. It daunts me every time because I don't like spinning. So the fact that I decided to come up with a TBR game that involves spinning so much, probably not the best idea. So I've decided to put it to the side for now and instead just pull the prompts that were featuring on Donkey, put them in a jar and pull them from this. However, this month we also have another mug. So we have two mugs. This is my standard TBR prompt jar, lots of prompts in here. However, this mug features all the Believathon cards because yes, I'm going to take part in the Believathon, not heavily, but I do want to pick a few prompts out of this and read some middle grade this month because if you didn't know, October I hosted the Magical Hopathon, which was a month-long readathon dedicated to Walt Disney World to celebrate its 50th anniversary, and I read a lot of books and I'm still reading a lot of books because as I am filming this, it's still October and I'm feeling a little bit burnt out, so I would love some middle grade on my TBR this month and it seems a perfect way to get some middle grade on that TBR so it's a bit more relaxed in the month of November. And then I also want to partake in the LDR readathon hosted by Chloe, which is all about long distance relationships. And although I'm not in a long distance relationship, the prompts are still really cute and I want to take part and support her and her channel. So I'm going to be doing that and that's a week long from this date to this date. I'm not too sure which week of November it is running. I will have the dates up on screen for you now. I already know what I want to read for those because you can double up on prompts. So I've managed to fit the 5 prompts that are available into 2 books. Those books are Everything I Know About Love by Dolly Alderton, which is a non-fiction memoir about Dolly Alderton's life, about everything from parties, dates, friends, jobs, love and life, and everyone just raves about this book. And I love me some 30-year-old midlife crisis in fiction and non-fiction books, so I'm sure I'm going to love this one. And this completes the prompt for FaceTime calls to read a book recommended to you because I take a lot of my recommendations from a little writer M and she absolutely adores this book, so that's my recommendation prompt. And it also fits the prompt of reunion to read a 5-star prediction because I do think I'm absolutely going to love this book so much. So I'm hoping I can fit one of these onto the new prompts I pull. If not, it's going to be an added book to my TBR. And then the other book I want to read for this readathon is I Heart Paris by Lindsay Kelk, which is the 3rd book in the I Heart series. And this is to complete the remaining 3,924 miles to read a book set in a different country because obviously this book is set in Paris and America, because Angela, the main character, lives in New York, but she travels to Paris in this book. It also fits the prompt of airmail to read a gifted book because this was kindly gifted to me by Emily from Emily Kathleen Reid when I won one of her giveaways. And the note is in here. Yep, the note is in here. So this is a gifted book. And it also fits the prompt of travel ban to read a comfort book because anytime I read Lindsay Kelk, I think this is a comfort book, and plus it's a reread, so I count that as a comfort book. So those are the 2 books I want to read for the LDRathon, or the long distance relationship readathon, hosted by Chloe from Chloe Reads Books. I'll leave the announcement video and her channel down below if you want to look more into it. But it is a really fun, cute week-long readathon where you can merge as many prompts as you can to fit the book. So therefore the 5 prompts that exist I fitted into 2 books, and I think 2 books in a week is fairly doable as long as I can fit both of these books into the other prompts I pull out for this month. Let's hop into the first section of this TBR and let's go for Believathon because I'm really excited to pull the prompts out of this mug. I'm not actually going to pull too many, probably 2, maybe 3 depending on what I pull, because there's actually only 1 physical middle grade book on my TBR currently and the rest I'll have to read from Scribd because I can't afford to buy any books at the minute because life, Christmas, and my JLS concert's coming up and I'm saving every single penny so I can buy as much merch as I physically can. So there's no money for books. Books this month is down here on a priority list. JLS merch is all the way up here. So I don't have any money to buy brand new books for this readathon, so I have 1 book on my TBR that I would like to get to this month as a middle grade, and the others will have to come from Scribd depending on what I pull from this mug. So let's get started. What is the first prompt I'm gonna pull? What is the first prompt I'm gonna pull? I'm actually kind of scared, but I think Gavin's put so much work into all these prompt cards. Yeah! excited. Okay, a book type you have that is so appealing, follow the hype and trust your gut feeling. Read a 5-star prediction. Yay! 5-star prediction. Let me go grab the book that I've just been talking about. This is my 5-star prediction for the Believathon prompt to read a 5-star prediction. I read the first book of this trilogy, I think it's a trilogy or it could even be a series, in October. Absolutely loved it, gave it 4 stars, really enjoyed it, and I do think there's potential for this series to become one of my new favourite middle grade series. So I'm going to put this down for 5-star prediction because there is a potential for it to be a 5 stars. I don't know if it's going to hold true, but I want to read this book, so I'm going to like bend the rules a little bit and put this book for 5-star prediction. The first book is called Front Desk, and it's basically about our main character Mia, whose family has immigrated from China to America, and they're really struggling, and one day they find a job ad where rent is included if they run the motel. So they drop everything, go and run this motel. They really struggle. It hits a lot on racism, and I think it's really well spoken about and really great gateway book into kind of racism and immigration and that sort of stuff. And the whole first book is inspired by Kelly Yang's actual life, and I just think it was a really well put together middle grade, and I cannot wait to read the sequel. So 5-star prediction for Gavin Believathon for the first book on my TBR this month. Yay, I'm so glad I managed to fit that one in. Let's go for definitely one more prompt for Gavin's Believathon. Because I did read so much in October, I really didn't want November to be stressful for me reading wise. And I'm going back into the office for the first time in 18 months in November. Okay. Racing rivers, streams and creeks, moor the raft or float for weeks. Read a book featuring water. Now that's going to be tricky because I don't know. So let's head over to Scribd because I have no more, like I said, physical middle grade books on my TBR. I don't know. I don't have many middle grades on my... I just don't think I'm going to be able to fulfill this prompt without having to buy a new book. So I'm going to give myself a veto for that one because I just don't think I'm going to be able to fulfill it. So a veto for that one. Let's pick again. Hopefully get one I can actually complete with the books that I want to read and the books I have access to. Let's go for this one. Okay. One that I can definitely fit a contemporary to, but I just don't know if the book has a sibling. Spoiler, nothing at all can tear them apart. They're one and the same, their own counterpart. Read a book featuring a sibling relationship is the second prompt I've pulled out for Believathon. There's a graphic novel series that is on Scribd that I really want to read, which is a middle grade, and there's like 4 of them, and I think the first one is Click by Kayla Miller, but it says it's a graphic novel about friendship and finding your clique in middle school. I really want to read it, but it doesn't really feature a sister relationship. Okay, here's an option. It's called The Remarkable Journey of Coyote Sunrise. It basically follows our main character Coyote and her dad Rodeo. They've lived on the road in an old school bus crisscrossing the nation for 5 years, but it's also how long Coyote lost her mother and 2 sisters in a car crash. Coyote hasn't been home in all that time, but when she learns that the park in her old neighbourhood is being demolished, the very same park where she, her mum and her sisters buried a treasure memory box, she devises an elaborate plan to get her dad to drive 3,600 miles back to Washington State for 4 days without him realising. And I think that kind of counts as a sister relationship because they're going back to a place where the main character and her 2 sisters kind of bonded and really shared a strong memory. So I'm going to count it, and I'm actually really excited to read it. So those are the 2 books I'm going to read for Believathon. That is Believathon out the way. And let's now jump into my standard TBR prompts. Hopefully we can fit these 2 books on the TBR because I only kind of want to read 5 to 6 books this month. So fingers crossed for me, guys. I have a lot of prompts in this jug, so hopefully it gives me a lot of variety. Let's pull this one out. Matches your outfit. I'm wearing green and grey. Green and grey? Green and cream. Green and cream. Green and... Oh, okay. I just saw a book that I've been eyeing me up for quite a while, and yeah, okay. And it's the front cover's green, and it's like a really horrible green. This is a nice green, but it's the closest green I'm gonna get, actually. I'm surprised this prompt's worked. Let me grab it. All my books are off to the side, so bear with. That's pretty accurate. I think that's pretty accurate. I'm gonna go for Kismet by Luke Trengen. I was recommended this once again because it's a contemporary adult by M, and I don't really know too much what it's about. Anna is in love, or maybe she's not. She's a free spirit, definitely happy, or is it more panicked? In any case, she is living life to the full, or maybe to the edge and having a glass of wine. With a big birthday just around the corner, an important new project at work, and a long-term boyfriend, Anna should feel like her life is falling into place. Somehow she just doesn't feel sure about, well, anything. So she decides to download the dating app Kismet, just as a test, of course. Will she embrace the life she has, or risk everything for the life she imagines? So another mid-20s, early 30s midlife crisis book. Perfect, right up my alley, and this book is like pretty much a perfect match for my top, so glad I wore this top today. So that is the next book on my TBR. Yet to get the 2 I actually need to read on my TBR, but we'll get there. The next prompt I'm gonna pull 2 more, hopefully I can fit the books on. Let's go for less than 300 pages. Oh, I could read Camp. No, not Camp. Click. What's it called? The one I was just talking about. Click. I can read Click by Kayla Miller, which is a graphic novel, and it's definitely less than 300 pages. Yeah, 300 pages. Basically about our main character, Olive, who wants to compete in the school kind of talent show, but when all her friends leave her stranded, she begins to panic. So will she be able to find her own place in the show before curtains up? And the author, Kayla Miller, is an author illustrator, so all the illustrations are also done by her. I'm really excited. That has managed to get onto my TBR. Not the Believathon TBR, but it's still a middle grade, so that is fun, and I'm excited for that. So yeah, less than 300 pages, a graphic novel, fun. Still don't have the books that I need to read on my TBR, but we're gonna hope for one more. I really don't want to have to read too much this month, and I'm just like, I really want those books to fit onto my TBR somehow. Let's go for same genre as your last 5-star. What was my last 5-star? I do love this prompt, and it's probably a contemporary. So let's have a look. My last 5-star was... It was a non-fiction, which is technically a contemporary. I'm gonna stretch it. My last 5-star was You're Not Broken by George M. Johnson, which is a non-fiction memoir. Which is a non-fiction memoir? I thought I was gonna have to bend it, but I don't at all, because this is a non-fiction memoir. Perfect! Thank you, TBR gods. Amazing. Sorted. That's one down. Let's see if I can risk pulling one more and getting I Heart Paris on my TBR, and then we'll call it quits. Please, can I have like favourite author, or a blue cover, because that's a prompt in here, or 5-star prediction, or something like that. I'm manifesting it, I'm manifesting it. Ah, yay! I promise I don't put on my excitement. I got adult! This is adult! Yay! I did it! Yay! So this basically... This is the 3rd book, like I said, in the I Heart series by Lindsay Kelk, and the first one, I Heart New York, basically for main character Angela, who just finds out that her fiance is cheating on her after 10 years of being together. So she just was like, fuck this, I'm going to up and move my life over to New York City, and she finds a new group of friends and really starts to discover who she is by going after her dreams of becoming a writer. And I just love this series. It's a major comfort read for me, and it's about time that I continue it, because I've read the first 2 this year. I would like to keep up the momentum of rereading the entire series, because it is an 8-book series, and I don't want to spend years rereading the series. I would like to get it done by the end of next year. So the 3rd book is definitely something I need to read and want to read, and it is fitted into the prompts. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. So that's kind of like my TBR. But the one book I forgot to mention on my TBR that is not really on my TBR, but it kind of is, it's Walking on Sunshine by Giovanna Fletcher, which comes out in November. It comes out on the 11th of November, and it's my book club pick for this month. If you didn't know, I do host a book club, and November's pick is Walking on Sunshine by Giovanna Fletcher, which is a adult book, contemporary, about 3 friends who have just lost one of their other closest friends. They grew up like a foursome, and they've just lost one to breast cancer, so they decide to go on a trek to kind of help heal themselves and help kind of discover what their life is now like without one of their best friends. and I'm reading it as an e-arc right now and absolutely loving it. So I would highly suggest you join the book club this month. Our co-host will be Chloe. If you would like the Discord link, make sure you message me and I'll make sure to pass it over to you. But that is kind of on my TBR. I'll probably have to reread it when the physical copy comes out, just so I can have all my thoughts and ideas and stuff fresh in the mind for the live show coming at the end of the month. So that's kind of on my TBR, but I have already read it, so if I didn't get around to it in November, it wouldn't be the be-all and end-all sort of thing. Let's quickly run through everything that I'll be reading in the month of November. We have 3 Keys by Kelly Yang, which is to read a 5-star prediction for Believathon. And then on Scribd, we also have The Remarkable Journey of Coyote Sunrise, also for Believathon, to read a book that features a sibling relationship. And then for the LDRathon hosted by Chloe from Chloe Reads Books, I have managed to get I Heart Paris, which is to fit the prompts, set in a different country, a comfort read, and a book that's been gifted to me. And it fits my non-readathon TBR for adult, which is brilliant. The other book I'll be reading for Chloe's readathon is Everything I Know About Love by Dolly Alderton, which is to fit the prompt of recommendation and a 5-star prediction. And once again, it also fitted my non-readathon prompt for same genre as my last 5-star read for a non-fiction memoir. So that is for the LDRathon. And then the 2 miscellaneous books that are just for my own TBR game, it's just kind of like helping me pick my TBR at this point, is we have Kismet by Luke Trengent, which is to read a book that matches your outfit, green and green. And then we have the middle grade graphic novel Click by Kayla Miller, which is to read a book that's less than 300 pages. I'm actually really happy with how this TBR has turned out, because we definitely have some middle grade in there. We have the books I wanted to get in there, and I just feel like reading middle grade and contemporary this month is exactly what I need to get out of, not my slump, but just kind of not feel pressured to read every day this month, to have just 6 books on my TBR, the 4 here, and then the 1 full-length novel, The Remarkable Journey of Coyote Sunrise, and then the graphic novel as well. Not too bad. I'm pretty happy with that. I'm actually really excited to get to all of them. A few middle grades, a graphic novel, a few really fun contemporaries, and a 5-star prediction that I really do think will be a 5-star prediction in Everything I Know About Love by Dolly Alderton. So that is my TBR for November. I'm super excited to get to it. Let me know what you'll be reading in November. Are you partaking in Believathon? Are you taking part in Chloe's long distance relationship readathon? Let me know down in the comments down below. Have you read any of the books I'll be reading in November? What are your thoughts? Spoiler free, of course. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a massive thumbs up. Subscribe down below to see future content from me. I do anything from weird, chaotic TBR prompt games, I don't know, I can't really call it a game anymore, weekly reading vlogs, fun challenges, and any other bookish content your heart can desire. I pretty much have it on this channel for you guys, so make sure you subscribe so you never miss any future uploads. And without further ado, I will see you in my next video. Bye guys!